Have you ever felt that invisible weight from your family's past? Maybe you believe it's a life sentence you just can't escape. It can show up as a sense of dread you can't quite name, a pattern of self-sabotage that feels totally inevitable, or a quiet but constant anxiety humming just beneath the surface of your life. You might even recognize it in your relationships, your career, or in the mirror struggle that feels ancient, like a script that was written for you long before you were even born. But what if it's not a life sentence? What if it's just a story? And what if you could pick up the pen and start writing a new chapter right now, in less than 60 seconds? Now, this isn't about some magical cure. Healing the deep wounds passed down through generations is a journey, not a sprint. But every single journey, no matter how long, begins with one conscious, powerful, and intentional first step. This guide is all about that first step. It is about the moment you stop being a passive inheritor of your family's pain and become the active architect of your own peace. The cycle doesn't just break over time, it breaks with intention. And that intention can start today. It can start right now. Before we can set down the baggage, we have to admit we're carrying it in the first place. Generational trauma, or intergenerational trauma, is the psychological and emotional residue that gets passed down from one generation to the next. It's not just about memories. It's about learned behaviors, emotional patterns, and even biological stress responses that our ancestors developed to survive. Maybe your grandparents lived through poverty, and now your family has an unspoken rule that you have to work to the point of exhaustion to feel worthy. Or maybe your parents were emotionally distant because their own parents were. So you learned that showing emotion is a sign of weakness. These aren't just personality quirks. They are echoes of the past. They can bubble up as persistent anxiety, low self-worth, trouble in relationships, or an unshakable feeling of guilt or shame for reasons you can't quite figure out. Science even gives us a clue as to how this works through a field called Research suggests that powerful experiences like famine or intense stress can leave a chemical mark on our ancestors' genes. This doesn't change the DNA itself, but it does alter how that DNA functions. Think of it like a sticky note on a page in a book. The text hasn't changed, but the note tells the reader how to interpret it. Those notes can then be passed down, influencing the stress responses and emotional well-being of future generations. So when you feel that hypervigilance, that sense that the other shoe is about to drop, or that deep mistrust of the world, know that it might not have started with you. You are not broken. You might just be carrying the survival map of a generation that lived in a war zone you've never even seen. Realizing this is the first, most compassionate step toward healing. It lets you separate what is truly yours from what you've inherited. You can have compassion for how these patterns started, while at the same time deciding they will no longer define your future. For a long time, you may have seen this inheritance as a life sentence, a predetermined path of anxiety, dysfunction, or sadness that you're doomed to walk. But this is the moment we reframe that. It is not a sentence, it is a story, and you are holding the pen. A sentence is final. It's slapped on you, leaving no room for change or choice. It implies you're powerless. But a story is alive. It has a beginning and a middle, but the end is not yet written. The characters in a story can evolve, the plot can twist, and most importantly, the narrator can change their perspective. Viewing your trauma as a story shifts you from the role of a passive victim to an active author. You get your agency back. You get to decide what the next chapter looks like. This reframe isn't about pretending the past didn't happen. Those earlier chapters, filled with the pain and struggles of your ancestors, are real. They absolutely deserve to be acknowledged and honored, but they do not have to be the final word. Trauma often leaves people feeling powerless, and a huge part of recovery is getting back a sense of control over your own narrative. By seeing it as a story, you can start looking at it with curiosity instead of judgment. You can ask questions like, what themes keep showing up in my family's story? What beliefs about the world did my ancestors pass down to me? Which of these beliefs are still helping me? and which are holding me back. This shift in perspective is the foundation for the action we're about to take. It moves you out of the passenger seat of your life and puts your hands firmly on the steering wheel. The past may have shaped you, but you get to decide where you go from here. You are not just the end of your family's history. You are the beginning of its future. This brings us to the promise of this guide. A simple, powerful action you can take in under a minute to start breaking the cycle. It's not a magic spell, but it is an act of profound power. It's the physical act of deciding to become the author of your own story. Here's what you're going to do. Take out a piece of paper, a journal, or even the Notes app on your phone. At the top of the page, write one sentence. This sentence is a declaration of your new role. My family's story has been one of a core struggle, but my chapter will be one of your desired change. Let's break that down. First, take about 30 seconds to identify a core pattern. Be honest with yourself. What's the central theme of the pain you've inherited? Is it a story of anxiety, of scarcity, of feeling unseen, of never being good enough? Acknowledge it without judgment. For example, my family's story has been one of anxiety and fear of the unknown. My family's story has been one of suppressing emotions to survive. My family's story has been one of believing we aren't worthy of success. Next, take the order 30 seconds to declare your new chapter. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's an intention. It's a promise to yourself. What is the antidote to that struggle? If the story was about fear, your chapter can be about courage. If it was about silence, your chapter can be about expression. But my chapter will be one of building a life rooted in peace and trust. But my chapter will be one of emotional openness and healing. But my chapter will be one of embracing my worth and creating my own abundance. Write it down. Read it out loud. This simple act is more powerful than it seems. Journaling gives you a safe space to process emotions that are often hard to talk about. It helps you create a clear narrative from your experiences, which can bring back the sense of control that trauma so often steals. This one sentence takes the struggle out of your head and puts it on the page, making it something you can look at, analyze, and ultimately rewrite. You have officially picked up the pen. That 1 minute, that one sentence was the start. It was the moment you broke the trance of helplessness. But ending generational trauma is a practice, not a one-time thing. Writing the rest of your new chapter requires continued, compassionate action. Let's talk about the pillars of that ongoing work. First, keep up the work of self-awareness and personal practice. This is about becoming the parent to yourself that you always needed. This practice, often called means consciously giving yourself the validation, comfort, and safety that might have been missing in your childhood. You can start small. When you feel overwhelmed, try self-soothing by taking a deep breath or wrapping yourself in a warm blanket. Start setting healthy boundaries, even if it feels uncomfortable, to protect your own energy. And keep journaling not just about the pain, but about your wins, your progress, and your new beliefs. Second, you don't have to do this alone. Seeking professional, trauma-informed support can be absolutely transformative. Therapists, trained in methods like eye movement desensitization and reprocessing or somatic experiencing, can help you process trauma that is stored in your body, not just your mind. A good therapist provides a safe space to explore these deep-rooted patterns without judgment. They can give you strategies tailored to your family history and help you navigate the complicated feelings that come up. Joining a support group can also be incredibly validating, just to be reminded that you are not the only one walking this path. Third, healing extends into your current relationships through new communication strategies. Generational trauma often thrives in silence and misunderstanding. You can break that pattern by encouraging open and honest dialogue. Practice using I statements to express your feelings without blame, like saying "I feel unheard" instead of "you never listen." This invites a conversation rather than a conflict. Work on active listening, giving others your full attention to really understand them, not just to plan your reply. Creating new, healthy family routines, like regular check-ins or shared meals without phones, can build the trust and safety that may have been missing. This isn't about blaming older generations. It is about modeling a healthier way of connecting for yourself and for those who come after you. You may have come here feeling like you were carrying a life sentence, weighed down by a past that wasn't yours and afraid it would define your future. But hopefully, you now see things differently. It's not a sentence, it's a story. And with one simple action, you picked up the pen and declared that you are now the author. That single sentence you wrote is a seed. It's the beginning of a whole new legacy. Healing is UNT about erasing the past chapters but making sure they do UNT get to write the ending. Every time you practice self-compassion, set a boundary, or speak your truth, you are watering that seed. You are actively writing your new chapter 1 of peace, of worthiness, and of freedom. The work isn't over in a minute, but the decision to start was. You took your power back in that moment. You are the one who breaks the cycle. If this message resonated with you, subscribe for more guides on healing and self-discovery. And now, I invite you to take one more small step. In the comments below, share one word that describes the new chapter you want to write for yourself. When you share it, you not only make your intention stronger, but you also create a space of hope and solidarity for everyone else on this journey. You're not alone in this, and your story matters.